Hello, my powerful posse, and welcome back to my channel, Purple RX. I am Renata, your friendly and resourceful PharmD, here to navigate you through this health and wellness world with all this information to find out exactly what works for you. So, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and in the Black community, in all communities, mental health is so important. And a lot of times in the Black community, we have swept it under the rug. We have just said, let's throw it to the side. We've got other stuff to take care of. There's so much more on our plates. And I get it, but we should really now take the time to look at what is best for us and what we need and how to take care of ourselves. Mental health is basically thinking about your emotional and psychological well-being. So mental health and mental illness can go hand in hand, but they're also two very separate things. And a mental illness, just because you have mental health, you have a mental illness, and a mental illness can come with mental health issues. So having a healthy, stable mental health just can lead to a happier and healthier lifestyle. And mental health, being mentally well does not mean every moment, every second, you're going to be on point, you're going to be happy, that is not what it means. It means just being aware of your feelings, aware of why emotionally that is triggering you or that's making you feel some kind of way. Why maybe you're feeling more sadness. Maybe you've lost a job, or even if you haven't lost a job, in this time, a lot more people with less human interaction during this whole COVID thing are having a hard time because they need day-to-day human interaction. They're not very much introverts and can be by themselves. That's hard for a lot of people. That is very hard. And whether that interaction is at work and you see people at work and you go home and do your own thing, or that interaction is you going out to networking events, bars. A lot of people have needed that, or just being around people, going to a park by yourself and people being in the vicinity. Some people just need that energy and need to see and have that freedom. So this has been hard for a lot of people, and this is the month to really look at it and really acknowledge and see how we can be more aware in our mental health. I know everybody's out there talking about self-care Sunday, self-care this, self-care that, self-care this. It's always going to look like yoga and a bubble bath and something miraculous like a dinner that you made for yourself, or going out or getting your nails done. And some people don't have that kind of money. Some people aren't making that kind of time. And some people need something more or something different. Sometimes in mental health and mental health awareness, sometimes all it takes is a walk. A walk is a form of meditation. Finding a new hobby, finding something that interests you, a puzzle, reading a different book, that what feeds your soul and what feeds your body and allows you to be in a happy and elated mood. Because what my mom always told me is happiness is an inside job. That is for us to work on and for us to know within ourselves. To be aware of, like I said, what your feelings are. And acknowledge those feelings and not stay in those feelings, but figure out what they are. And figure out why you're feeling those feelings. Are you feeling those feelings from past trauma? Are you feeling those feelings due to some ways that you acted, or some programming that you learned when you were young? Mental health awareness is so important. And in self-care could be anything. Self-care could be, there's this one lady that I follow. Her name is the.holistic.psychologist. And she's actually on Instagram, and she kind of helped me be more aware of my own mental health and check myself and look at stress, reducing stress. Maybe not working such long hours and spending more time with family, or spending time by yourself, giving yourself 5 to 10 minutes. If you're a person that needs to be a loner, that's a loner. Giving yourself time to maybe plant some plants. Make a garden outside. Like I said, do a puzzle, build something. Find something that brings you joy. Just in that moment, that allows you to, because when it brings you joy in that moment, it allows you to freely think and think deeper and see maybe where am I going off on the wrong person, or where am I pushing off and projecting my issues on somebody else? Where am I emotionally holding on to something or emotionally involved in something else that maybe I shouldn't be involved in? Take a bike ride. Take a walk, like I said. Go to a park. If you have children, take them to the park with you. Find something. Somebody she also says journaling is great. That can be something for self-care. Light a candle and journal. And journal about how you can, something called reparenting yourself. In places that you feel that there's a void, you fill that void for yourself. So that is what self-care is about. Filling the things that you feel are a void, fill it within yourself. Which means you can connect with God or your higher power, whatever you want to call it, because to me they're all the same. Connect with that. And have him to help you see what's inside of you, what you feel is missing or what you think is missing. Because we're all whole by ourselves, but sometimes we feel or think something is missing based on some things that have happened in our lives. Or some trauma that we have never dealt with or delved into. So food also plays a large role. I remember working in being in a psych hospital, in a mental health, behavioral health hospital, and I would always see them like give kids these. We had kids and adults, and they would be giving them like Cheetos, and I was like, this is the worst snack. These are the worst snacks. These are the worst meals. And the person who actually was in the cafeteria, she was actually really trying to give them great fish, like mahi-mahi. She was making like great meals, but they were like, you're too expensive for us. But food plays a significant role. Important foods that are needed, and eating a well-balanced meal is so important. Having complex carbs, quinoa, beets, sweet potatoes, eating lean proteins, whether that be fish, seeds, nuts, chicken, eggs, those things are important. Fatty acids, fish, meat, eggs, nuts, flax seeds, those are all important within our diet. Eating plenty of fruits and vegetables are so important because our body needs those to function properly and to do what is needed within your brain and what is needed within your gut and within your whole body. So making sure that your gut is healthy, because 95% of serotonin supply is produced by your gut. So your gut, your brain, and your gut are very well connected. They're connected through the vagus nerve. So sometimes think about this. When you have a headache and your headache gets so bad that you become nauseous. Those are a connection. Or think about if you've ever had to take any nausea medicine, promethazine or Zofran. When they give those to you, it calms your stomach, but it can sometimes make you a bit loopy within your head, and you're like, and you can't. But your stomach is better. That is a part of it, because your brain and your gut have this connection, and they have a deeper connection than we think. So taking care of your gut is important. Reducing sugar. Stress can suppress like the beneficial gut bacteria that we need. Reducing stress. Stress is it can take more control of our life than we think. It can affect our lives deeper than we think. I didn't know how much stress affected my life until I quit my job. I knew I was stressed, but when I quit my job, I was like, I was really that stressed. I got to spend time with myself. My body had changed because I had stressed myself out so much. I had taken care of myself all along, and there was something that had just I had allowed it to take so much from me. And it took so much from me that my body had changed in a way. My gut had changed. I could no longer metabolize certain things because my body was so stressed. And I was so stressed. And I was trying to get here and get there and get this done and make this happen for myself. And I was just wearing myself out, doing stuff for people that weren't worth anything for me, that weren't going to do anything to help me out, that was just getting what they needed from me. And giving more of myself than what other people deserved. So stress is the number one thing. It is the number one thing in your mental health, in your health awareness, period. Stress affects so many parts of your body. like I said, when I quit my job, the stress in my body, when I started to take walks and go out in nature and relax and breathe and exercise, not to kill myself to get to a certain weight, but to exercise to feel better, my body really started changing and my gut really decided to heal itself because I gave it a chance to. I took away all those confounding factors that were pushing on it and wearing it down. So, also within mental health awareness, mindful eating. Mindful eating does not just mean, it's not just about what you eat, but it's about where you eat, how you eat, your relationship with food. Are you eating to have a certain look? Or are you eating for the health of your body? Are you eating because you're stressed? Are you stress eating? I was a stress eater. Are you stress eating some things? Because stress sometimes can add a whole lot more weight to you and a whole lot more inflammation than we think. And we think we're gaining weight because we're eating the wrong things. And sometimes it's stress that's holding on to some things in our body because it's in such a stress position. So it's just our body is reacting with tension and holding on to all those things. Salt, water, everything, just holding on to it. So mindful eating is also about what time we eat, where we eat, paying attention to your meals, sitting down and eating in front of the TV. I'm going to say I sometimes have a bad habit of that, but that's not always the best thing, because then you sometimes start getting yourself to eat more or not eat enough, but mostly eat more because you're distracted. So mindful eating is about taking the time to get to know your food and enjoy your food and having a relationship with that and being thankful that you're able to sit there, eat a meal, and it's nourishing your body. It's also about, like I said, not stress eating. Mindful eating allows you to pick basically the best foods for you. Being like, okay, that food, ice cream doesn't work well for my stomach. It may make me gassy. I'm slightly lactose, or have it's not quite lactose intolerant, but I have an irritation to lactose. Or cheese is not great for me, or beans they don't work with me. Red meat may not work with me the best. Finding those things out allows you to do what works best for your body. And all that goes hand in hand for your mental health, because you're aware of what you eat now, what you're putting in your body. You're aware of how your body's reacting to that. And you're also involved in seeing that maybe I emotionally eat. Maybe I stress eat. Maybe I just eat just to be eaten. And those things are all going in hand. So please, mental health awareness is awareness for this month, but please be aware of your mental health every single day. Please be aware of who you are, emotions, and how we don't want emotions to control us. Emotions are important, but emotions should not control our everyday actions in life, actions and reactions. Emotions are natural. Being angry, being jealous, being fearful, those are natural emotions. But we have to find a way to navigate those in a more healthy way, and actually to navigate those and not sweep those under the rug and not hide it or act like nothing is wrong or nothing happens to me. Because trust, I've been there and I've tried to act in that way, and that's not always the best. I believe God is making us sensitive in this time. It's more sensitive to our own emotions and to other people's emotions so that we can grow within our mental health and grow within understanding of other people and grow to another level of, like I said, liking and understanding, and being considerate and being loving to one another, and allowing us to rid ourselves of things that aren't great for our mental health. Because when you're sensitive, at one point you may have not been, that may have gotten on your nerves, something may have gotten on your nerves, but now it does, but now it really gets on your nerves. You're being made more sensitive to that so that you can see that this is probably not, either you're not handling it well, or maybe this is not the best environment for you. That's what all this sensitivity is about. Maybe this is not the best environment for you. Maybe some things need to change over here. And that's all a part of your mental health, what you allow yourself to take in and what you allow yourself to go through, put through. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the Mental Health Awareness Month, May. And if you guys need any, finding some help is hard. A lot of people don't want to go somewhere else to find help. They don't want to tell anybody else their business. And I get that. I understand that. And one person, I will link her Instagram below. And she also has a website. It's the holistic psychologist. I will list her below. She really helped me to be more aware of, why am I feeling this way and why am I here? Is there something I missed? Is there something in my childhood that I haven't dealt with? Is there something that I'm dealing with now that I never dealt with in college or high school? Or is she allowing me to see something that I just ignored years ago? So I will put her information below. Check her out. And remember, mental health is all about not just basically how we think, but we can always change our thinking. We can always change our feelings and emotions and navigate that better. It's all about navigating who you are right now and what you may be dealing with and finding the best way to navigate that. Food is also important within that navigation, making sure your body is healthy. This whole thing works together as one. Brain, heart, liver, lungs, all of that works together as one. Your gut, all of it is one symbiotic machine that works together and allows you to be at your best. So you can't just say, oh, I'm going to focus on my mental health and eat a crappy diet. It's going to be a little bit hard because your emotions can go up and down due to food, due to a lot of sugar. You can have your emotions up and down. Caffeine, you're relying on certain things rather than a nutritious meal. So please be aware of your mental health for yourself, not for me, but for yourself, because that allows you to grow and be the best that you can be. And I want everybody to be the best they can be. So remember, if we don't know, we don't grow. Thank you guys. You guys have a nice evening.